by starting off. I arrived here yesterday evening. I hadn't been here for about 10 years. I walked around the village for an hour. I found it such a life-affirming place to be, such a beautiful place to be. I think if there is, not sure there's anywhere in Israel I could live nowadays, but if there was, it would be Neve Shalom. And to look at this wonderful library today, I am absolutely overwhelmed that the family has been able to contribute this library in my father's name. I think it's absolutely fantastic. I'm just so thrilled that we've been able to do this. Thank you. And now to get on to what I have prepared. I know that only a few of you will have known my father, but please bear with me for a few minutes whilst I speak of him and the family's connection to Neve Shalom Wahat al-Salam. 1930s Palestine. Two young men sharing a small room in Petah Tikva. Neither had much money, so they could only afford one bed. Each night they changed places, one sleeping on the mattress on the floor, and the other on the bare springs of the iron bedstead. My father liked to recount this story when talking of his first visit to Palestine. The other man was Wellesley Aaron, one of Neve Shalom Wahat al-Salam's founders. They had met through Perth School, where my father was a pupil in the Jewish house and Wellesley a junior housemaster, I think. They remained lifelong friends. And I'm now going to tell you very briefly another story about my father's first trip to Palestine, because it was told to me yesterday by Eliza, which is that he and two cousins were walking down Ben Yehuda Street in Tel Aviv, desperate for a game of bridge, but there were only three of them, so they walked down the middle of the street shouting out, "Can anyone make up a fourth for bridge, please?" And eventually a window opened, the man popped his head out and said, "Hang on, I'll be with you in a couple of ticks." Go back to what I had written. Wellesley had committed to making his life in Palestine and was trying to encourage my father to do the same. I think he would, if family commitments had not obliged him to return to Leeds. But though he never made Aliyah, he was always deeply committed to Israel, proud of his family's strong Zionist heritage, and thankful that in his later years he was able to divide his time between homes in England and Israel. Many family members did move here, and we are so glad that family have been able to join us here today. Thank you. It makes it even more special for us. My father became a successful solicitor and businessman, was very much a doer and problem solver, always tried to help a friend, relished a challenge, and believed in what Neve Shalom was doing. I am sure it was not difficult for Wellesley, more the dreamer and visionary, I am told, to persuade him to become an early supporter. It was no easy task finding support. Wellesley wrote in his diaries of the need to build underpinning for Neve Shalom, rather than relying on ad hoc contributions, but that he so often had to listen to criticism and destructive comments and have discouraging conversations when trying to interest otherwise dedicated Jews and Zionists, men who were successful in business and the professions, in the work being done here. So how did my father contribute, along with far more eminent figures, such as the then American ambassador to Israel and Sir Marcus Seif, chairman of Marks and Spencer? He helped establish the British Friends, which is on its annual visit, so that there would be permanent support from the UK. My brother Stephen was for a time its chairman. Found donors for some of the earlier homes, and once a year opened the beautiful gardens of his own home in Wiltshire in the west of England for a fundraising event organised by a local church. I don't know why this specific church wanted to do this, but Wellesley did write that at first it was easier to interest Christians rather than Jews in the work being done at Neve Shalom.
Still is the same.
In his retirement, my father divided his time between Wiltshire and his home in Caesarea, and was supportive of his second wife Helen when she decided to raise their daughter Naomi in Haifa. Helen also became close friends with Wellesley and his wife Coral, was a regular visitor here, and because of this and her work as a historian and editor, Coral asked her after Wellesley's death to see if she could turn his diaries into a book. The result, I have to say, a riveting memoir, Rebel with a Cause. Naomi also maintained the family's connection and gave her own gift to Nevi Shalom when she and husband Ricardo stayed here with their theatre company Lume to perform for the village and do street theatre with the school. Unfortunately, I cannot end on an upbeat note. I think my father would be deeply saddened by what is happening in Israel today. And Rachel, Naomi, Helen and I feel it important that I make this point in this tribute to him. However, I know he would view Nevi Shalom Wahat al-Salam as a beacon of light and hope, and marvel at how it has flourished since those earlier days. The family, which now includes 6 grandchildren, is therefore delighted that it has helped you to reopen this library, which now bears his name. And Rachel, her husband Mike, and I are glad we can be here today. Thank you.
For those who I didn't meet, I'm Rita Bruce. I'm a member in Wahat al-Salam Nevi Shalom, and I work at the PR office. Thank you for your, visit and contribution and support, guests and friends. I will read since English is my third language, so excuse me. Okay. In this happy occasion, we have with us Jenny Nemko, our friend Jenny Nemko, who recently stepped down from the position of chairperson of the British Friends. Jenny has been with the British Friends for many years as an active member and later the chairperson. Jenny was very dedicated and close friend to the village, and we hope she will stay with us as supporter and friend for many more years. We very much appreciate her effort and the great work she has done for the village. On behalf of Wahat al-Salam Nevi Shalom and myself, I would like to thank you and present you with a modest gift with our love and appreciation.
Very, very unexpected, very unnecessary, and this place obviously means a tremendous amount to me, and I shall continue to come here and continue to support the great work you do. Thanks. Thank you.
Before we move on, as you know, this is the library, and next to it we have the computer lab that we took the opportunity to renovate it as well with school budget and help of other friends. And I want to thank Monique. She's with us today. Monique is the grandmother of Danielle, who
And the future first grader.
Yes. And she also helped us with the computer lab. So, would you like to say a few words, Monique? Or
Not really.
not
I think
really?
it's all been
Okay.
said.
Okay.
Thank you.
But I do thank you. I do want to take you around because there's a certain something that I want to show you at the computer lab, and I want to explain a little bit. And then those of you want to join us, we're going to have a short workshop with Michal upstairs. and then if we have time, a little tour at the school, and then you go back to the hotel for lunch, okay? So we'll go through this door. Please. Stand in front of this. You know the story. You know the story. You were here yesterday. Okay. Please come. We thought it would be a good idea to have a connected door between the two rooms, so kids, everything is new. We have 28 stations for working, but the real story is here. If you look at that, we have a spatial program that we wrote, the teachers wrote. It's a part of our curriculum. We call it in Hebrew Chotam. It means tradition and society. And we studied together, of course, Arabs and Jews. And are they coming in? There are chairs here. So, last year, exactly at that time, it was a period when we studied about democracy. And the kids studied a different way of expressing their opinion. They studied what a petition means, what do you say after
demonstration.
Demonstration, of course. Okay, they study how important it is in a democracy to express yourself, and they decided they had a few ideas of issues that they want to express their opinion about, and they decided that they want to have a new working computer lab at school, because you wouldn't believe what we had before that. We had old computers that were old when we got them as a contribution. They were half my age. Most of them were not working at all, and they organized and they wrote me a letter that says, dear head teacher, we, the fourth grade, want to have a new computer lab. It is very important for us to use computers while we study. They wrote it, of course, and they signed their names, and they organized the whole school to sign a petition that is demanding to have a new lab. And they organized a demonstration with the whole school kids, and it was a wonderful and really very exciting event. So when we had a chance to do that, I really wanted to put it in front and to say thank you to all the kids who put an effort to put it on our first priority. And so when you walk by, you can see all the signature. It's like a Declaration of Independence. And pictures from that day. And I think this is when you study, when it means to you something, then you study the best. You remember, it's not something theoretical that you open a book and you read a chapter. This was a part of their life, and this is a a part of our story. So,
And they got results.
yes, yes. And you know, this year's petition was, I will tell you because you might be helping us as well. The kids want the school to grow to high school, to middle class and high school. And I have over 400 signatures of students, people from the Echelon, parents, grandparents and so on, who signed the petition. We already gave it to the Ministry of Education and to the Municipal Council. And this is, of course, will be a little harder to make this dream come true, but I think it's definitely possible. So hopefully, in 3 years, 4 years?
All the way
We'll be cutting another...
all the way to Bagut?
All the way to the Bagut, yes. Yes, it's 6 more years of junior high and high school.
I'd like to thank Carmela because this is your second or third year?
This is
Third
my
year
I
as
can't say
head teacher, and you've taken the school really forward, and this is a result.
thank you.
That is the result.
I have my teachers with me and the staff.
Of course.
And the village and you. It's really it's not a one-man journey. It's with the support of everyone. But I think yes, that we can enjoy now the change.
The future looks hopeful with you in the school.
Thank you. So we have a little refreshment outside, and then we go.